All right, so I had a friend ask me. He goes, "Why are you so good with Alter? What kind of tips and stuff can you give me?" As a person who's been playing Alter for 9 months, and in that time I've gotten a little under 4,000 kills with her, I feel like I know what I'm talking about. With her about to get buffed, I would definitely take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. You know, it is subject to change, but I will go over some of her buffs and how they could potentially make her better as a character. As much as I'm excited for them to buff her, I don't think it's going to change her into just this broken ass character. But what this video is basically going to be is just a tutorial on really how to main Alter, like how she should be played. First thing first, I do want to go over her ult. It is probably the reason you're watching this video, because not a lot of people understand how it works, especially newer players, which with the buff that's upcoming, once Alter takes the Nexus, she can pull her down teammates to the ult while they have a shield up. So that's great. So first thing first, we're going to go over what you should be doing with one ultimate down. And then for right now, if you're choosing the perk that is 2 ultimates, then we'll go over that as well. But it's about to get moved into her base kit, so I won't go too deep into it. So when you have this one ult down, all that is insurance. You never really want to use her base ultimate as anything other than a get out of jail free card, which I guess would be kind of the textbook definition, because when they were pitching her, like in the trailers and everything, that's what it was. It was just a get out of jail free card, right? I will say towards like Diamond 2, Diamond 1, you never want to be, or hell, even Platinum, you never want to be fighting without an ult down. So say, for example, you're 100 meters from the ult and then there's another team out 100 meters. You would prefer to have an ult here and then push than to push that and have that team, you know, pull you further away from the ult. So whenever you're about to initiate a fight, you want to place a new one. So if I was about to fight this team over here, I would throw an ult and then we would push it. And then we're fighting this team, yada, yada. One person goes down. If you haven't downed anybody and it's a 2v3, depending on how good your teammates are, you can either fight it and res, or you can go ahead and have the down teammate take the Nexus and then you would follow in suit, right? Because you have about 8 seconds before that crystal closes to res and pop a bat or whatever. With Alter becoming a medic, it actually changes some of the timings. It's whatever time it takes for Loba to res. So it would go down from 5 seconds to res to like 3 or 4 seconds. And then you would time that also with how long it takes for the crystal to open from the down teammate. And I believe after all of that, you still have enough time to pop a Phoenix. And if not a Phoenix, you still have time to pop a bat. So one more time, just to recap, if you're fighting a team, one person goes down and it turns into a 2v3, everybody should take the Nexus, full res, reset, and then wait for them to take it or re-engage. Here's another thing with Alter's ult that nobody really knows. All right, so say for example, Alter's ult is facing north. You want to try and get it on a wall that's north because it's easier to remember. Whenever I take her ult, I want to be facing north, and I'll tell you why. So say for example, I have a team over here. They're fighting me, right? Okay, great. It's a 2v3. I'm going to go back to the Nexus. I'm facing north. I'm facing north because I want the team, when they come through the portal, I want them to be looking at that wall instead of looking at me. So even though I'm facing south, and when I take this, I should be looking this way, it turns me around to the way that the person who took the portal was facing, which is probably one of the most broken things about the ult, because when an enemy comes out of this, they're going to be looking at a fucking wall and they're gonna be like, okay, what's going on? Just that little bit of confusion of a person coming through a Nexus and all they see is a wall. It's going to take them a second to readjust and look at where they're at, right? And target you, say you're standing over here watching the Nexus, target you and shoot you, right? The main thing that you want to learn here is that whenever you're placing Alter's ult, you want it to either be facing a wall that is away from where you're about to push, right? But that's preemptive. Other cases, if you don't know where you're about to push and you're just setting a fallback to be setting a fallback, make sure that there's a wall facing north, because again, whenever they come through that Nexus, they're going to be facing a wall. That's what you want. All right, so I hope I explained that good enough. I don't feel like drawing a diagram because it's pretty simple. Another thing with Alter that is about to change is actually the portal depth. So say for example, I rotate like this, I can only go here, which is fine. But once they upgrade it, it'll go to over there on the other side. So I'm super excited for that. That's going to make her a lot more versatile. One of the best ways to play Alter, especially if you've played Wraith before, is that she's still Wraith, but all you need is a wall. So say, for example, you have a situation like this where there's a guy that's like dancing around this bin with you and you're just trying to get some damage in, but you can't because he keeps running around it and climbing it and yada yada. Instead of doing all that noise, port through it on the side and just keep going back and forth. And you can also, you know, fake it. Obviously, just play it by whatever your heart tells you to do. So that's a pretty basic thing. I mean, that's something that even Wraith can't do. Honestly, that's more of like a Diamond 2 kind of thing. I wouldn't expect to see that from just your regular schmo in pubs. Like, they're not going to dance with you around this tank, right? One of the benefits of dancing with somebody around Ben through a portal is that it's just intimidating. Like, it's going to scare the shit out of somebody, and that's kind of what you want. You want to show presence. To go back to her ult, another thing that I never see, once you take this ult and everybody's sitting here, if you have 3 people and one of them's down, whoever has the most health should be watching this portal, waiting for somebody to come through it. The way that it is now as Alter, you need to calm whenever they're coming through it. It'll say at the top, enemies are using your Void Nexus or whatever. So after you've taken it, you want to sit here and just wait with a shotgun or whatever gun you're using. It doesn't matter. You just want to be ready to shoot whoever's coming through this. The earlier you pre-fire, the better. Oh my god, and if you have a rampart behind a wall just watching your ult, oh my goodness, it catches people off guard. It's amazing. Another thing that I feel like a lot of people don't really think about is the timings on the ult. If you watch my videos, you know that I play with the same 2 people in ranked every single day. And something that even we struggle with, my teammates don't know how long they have, right? So the absolute soonest that a person can come through your ult is about 9 to 10 seconds. The crystal itself that is spawned whenever you go to the ult takes about 8 seconds to fully deploy. So not only if the enemy is sitting on your portal, it takes them 8 seconds before they can actually go through it and push you. In that time, you can res in about 5 seconds. In that time, you can pop a Phoenix kit, which is about 7 seconds, or a shield bat, which is about 5 or 6 or whatever it is. But you never want to be scared immediately after you take the ult. You should be totally confident. You have entire control over the situation. You know where they're going to spawn. They are going to spawn right here. It's going to glow red. You have complete control over the situation. Worst case scenario, you know, they don't take it, yada yada. They're 30 meters out. You're great. You're 30 meters ahead of them. I will say this, most people don't really know where Alter's ult is going, especially if you take it. That little trail that follows you the whole way back to the ult, most people don't pay attention to it. They're not gonna know your pinpoint exact location from it. With Alter getting 2 charges of her tactical, if you port into a building and you're getting shot at, you're probably just gonna have to commit, especially if you can't go back through the portal. The time that it takes to shoot a portal, say we're inside of a building, the time it takes for you to shoot a brand new portal, the time it takes for that portal to open, you're just getting beamed by whoever's looking at you over here. I think that if they don't speed up how long it takes to cast, it's probably best just to come through the portal and commit. If you go down, just go to the Nexus. I don't think with her having 2 charges, you'll see anybody making a portal, going through it, and then getting shot at by, you know, a team over here because they fucked up, they shouldn't have pushed this, and then casting another portal and dipping out. I don't think you're going to see any L-shaped movements with Alter. I think it's really just going to be, okay, she ported in on this wall, she went through, fuck, she's getting shot at, okay, now she's going to port out this wall. I don't think anybody's going to be looking up and porting out. One piece of advice I can give for trapping, I will say dropping people down from a portal is kind of difficult because the range, right? Not the depth, but the range can be a little tricky. So what you want to do to successfully trap someone, let's say there's a guy up here. Wherever he's looking down at, like, so say for example, he's right there. You want to try to, as fast as you can, to ping it so that when you're lining up a portal, you can cast it on top of exactly where you pinged. You're more than likely gonna catch them. With this one's a little metagamey. If you do catch them, don't look at the portal, look slightly below it and then start tracking. So like if I were to grab a guy right here, I wouldn't aim in there. He's going to drop through the portal in a phase. He's going to be a little bit hard to see, and then he's going to pop back into existence somewhere in this kind of area, right? And then you would want to track him as he falls. Do like 30 damage as he's falling just to get him scared of you, and then obviously, you know, push off that accordingly. But just to reiterate, you definitely want to ping exactly where they're at so that when you cast the portal, it's right where he was standing, right? In conclusion, I think the biggest thing people are going to learn from this video is that whatever direction you're facing when you take the ult is the direction they will be facing when they take your ult. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much everything that I have for this video. That's all the meta stuff that you can do with Alter. And as with everything in life, you know, practice makes perfect. But yeah, I would really take the ult stuff to heart because that is what's going to get you kills in ranked. Just having them facing a wall, I cannot stress that enough. That actually might be one of the reasons, like half of these kills are probably from fallback kills. Idea for Apex, can you please make a fallback kill thing? Like 10 seconds after an enemy has taken a fallback when you kill them? Because I swear to God, half these kills are all fallback kills. Anyway, that's all I've got for the video. Y'all have a good day.